Good morning, guys. Welcome to another vlog. It is the 4th of January here, early morning. It's still the 3rd in the United States, and I'm just making this video to react to what's happened to the president of Venezuela, and apparently what happened to the former president of Venezuela's grave, and what it kind of means for all of us, or at least what it might mean for the rest of the world and the United States. So basically, I've been following the news, and I just posted on my personal social media, like last night, what's going on with the attacks and everything. And it looks like the president of Venezuela has been essentially kidnapped from his house and brought to New York. And there is footage now of him arriving in New York, and the friend of Jeffrey Epstein, Donald Trump, the president of the United States, has basically bragged about that and released a photo of him being captured, or him in a captured state. Really quickly, I'm not an expert in geopolitics, but I believe that this would mean like the US controls a huge amount of oil now. Venezuela had either the first amount or the second most oil reserves in the world. Some people say it's Saudi Arabia at number one, but actually other people say it's Venezuela at number one. So Saudi Arabia is an ally, some people say a proxy of the United States, and now, the U.S., essentially, if they're successful with what they've done, if the intervention is successful, that means they'll control a lot of oil around the world. Maybe half the oil reserves around the world will be either in direct control of the United States or control via proxy, which means that they can put pressure on countries like Russia, and thereby, keep the barrels of oil at a certain price, and that means a lot geopolitically. Probably this is being used to cripple the economy of Russia. Something to keep in mind as well is that the Chinese delegation was in Caracas in Venezuela to meet with the president just the night before he was kidnapped. And they're still there right now. They were there through the whole attack, which I don't think will go over well in Beijing. That's something noteworthy. But what I'm actually here to talk about today is the reports that came out, and these are still unconfirmed because, of course, everything is fluid on the ground. But the unconfirmed reports that the grave of Hugo Chavez was also targeted in a airstrike or helicopter strike, whatever it was, from the United States. And I just find that this is something that kind of has gone on throughout history, the whole desecration of graves or the disinterment of graves. And it's just a tradition that apparently has continued with the United States intervention into Venezuela. Most recently, I guess, you've seen this with the desecration of the grave of Hafez al-Assad in Syria. And then eventually his disinterment, I believe this year, like his grave, I believe, was dug up and they urinated in the grave or whatever. This is just according to some reports. This kind of thing happens throughout history, so it doesn't surprise me. One of the most famous Muslim jurists of all time, Imam Abu Hanifa, his grave was exhumed or disinterred like in 1508 by Shah Ismail. Apparently, this is like according to some reports, and his body was removed and all this kind of stuff. So I just find it very macabre and bizarre, and something that's continued on until today. So guys, there's a lot on our plates this morning. There's a lot going on in the world. We see a foreign leader of a sovereign state removed from power in the middle of the night, captured and kidnapped with his wife. Who knows what will happen to Venezuela now? This is actually really a very shocking move. It obviously didn't have any congressional approval. The more conspiratorial people are saying that this is the deep state's way of setting up Trump for another impeachment, which may happen because he didn't get congressional approval for this intervention. But most interventions that the U.S. does don't really get congressional approval, although they're supposed to. Noteworthy as well is that a Rothschild family member on X has basically praised the intervention and congratulated the removal of Maduro. And of course, Rothschilds don't have any presence or any power in Venezuela at the moment, but that means that maybe the door is open for them to move in as well and expand their reach and their influence. And I think we all know what that means for the rest of the world. So, guys, it's something that I didn't think I was going to see again in my lifetime, because we had this with Iraq as well, right? We had the capture of Saddam Hussein within, I think, 6 weeks of an invasion there. That war went on for a really, really long time. So they're talking now about having this, President Trump and Marco Rubio are talking about expanding this effort to remove leaders in Cuba, Colombia, and other nations that don't play ball, apparently. So, so much for America First, I guess, for all those people who were part of the MAGA train. America First, no to stupid wars. Looks like we're starting a new round of stupid wars. Take care, guys, and I hope that the next time I make a video, there'll be better news. Bye-bye.
Mari kita